Shalom, my people. Shalom. You are live. I am live. Shalom, my people. Shalom. Tell you that, my people. I'm here to give a message. It's called Profaning the Most High Laws. Profaning the Most High Laws. And that is what the 12 tribes of Israel are doing. We profaning the laws. We disobeying the law. We don't care nothing about them. So you wonder why we living the way we living, why we're in the condition we in. This is why, people. We're in the condition we in because of this directly. Because you just made laws. So you think that you could do something in this world today, even your kids, and don't pay the consequences for breaking your rules that you made for them. The same way, and society has rules. If you break them rules, you will get punished. See, what is your moral compass? What is your moral compass? Where do you get right and wrong from? You get it from your mother. You get it from your father. You get it from society. But the overall laws come from God. But if you don't follow God's law, you are doomed. The same way if you don't follow the law of the land, or you don't follow the law of your parents, you get punished for it. Well, God gave us a law, and we didn't obey the law. We disobeyed the law. So the Lord said, by our disobeying the law, we shall what? We shall go into captivity. We shall be cursed. We shall be called a byword. You shall your kids shall be taken away from you, and you have no strength in your hand to fight for them. You shall lose your culture, your language. There's a bunch of stuff. You go to Deuteronomy 28 through 15 through 68, you see all the curses that God put upon you for disobeying the law. And I promise you, if you go read them laws, you'll see that them laws actually fit you. Them laws actually fit you. Okay, the first thing I want to go through with my people is this. Hey, this is the Sabbath, y'all. This is the day that you're really supposed to be doing God's work. You're supposed to be doing God's work on today. Now, the people who don't do God's work today, you really wait until tomorrow. That is an abomination to God, but the church won't tell you that. Even on your first 10 commandments, you got on there, it tell you observe the Sabbath. The Sabbath is Saturday, not Sunday. So if you disobey them laws, I know the law that God gave you will disobey them, because we see our people still dying from these curses, which is sickness. And a lot of these sickness come from God gave us a dietary law. A lot of our illness come from like disease and stuff, because God gave us a law that you can't sleep with a man, man can't sleep with a man, woman can't sleep with a woman. So you get these diseases that reflect. See what I'm saying? So now what you do is God law, then you pass that law on, because guess what? You pass the law on and on and on, because you doing a law and somebody else broke the law, like going with another man, then you go sleep with another, then you get that woman AIDS. So it go on and on and on. You pay for what you do. Just point blank. You know it right now today. You pay. You be late on your job, they dock your pay. You do old Uncle Sam, your pay son, Uncle Sam garnish your checks. So there's different laws that you gotta say, but you will not obey God's law, but you will obey man's law. Well, let me get started. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon Deuteronomy 28:45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hast hearkened this not unto the voice of the Lord their God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. Moses went up at Mount Sinai, brought the tablets down. When he came back down, y'all had to persuade Aaron to build a golden calf. See, remember one thing, God tell you to go somewhere, he give you provision. So when we left out of Egypt, we had so much gold and silver, it was ridiculous. Why do you think we love to wear gold? Why do you think we love silver? So when we left out of there, we loved it so much that when we came out, when Moses came down, y'all persuaded Aaron, and Aaron built golden calf out of the gold. We had earring gold, we had nose ring, lip ring, every kind of ring you could think of, crowns on their head. We had plenty of gold. But guess what? They wanted another God so bad because Moses was gone because nobody was there to constantly get in the word. We have to constantly read this word. If you don't, you will go into idolatry. So when Moses came back, Moses seen where they had built golden calf. And God cursed us because we disobeyed the law, statutes, commandment. And these curses shall come over you and overtake you. These curses, excuse me, these curses have came over us and overtaken us right about now. Look around. I don't really have to go into great detail. Look around you and see what then happened to you. We're killing each other. We're at a high divorce rate. Our kids are in prison. Our kids are in drugs. Our kids are destroying the school when they go to school. They're disobedient. The man had left his wife. The wife had left her man. So we are all kind of curses. We are the bottom of the total pole on every kind of statistics, except for murder. We the highest when it comes to murder and jail. Everything else, matter of fact, we the highest of everything. I'm sorry, I take that back. Not the Lord, the highest. We the highest in killing, highest in abortion rate, highest in husband not in the home, highest in wife leaving the husband, highest in the kids in prison. We the highest of everything. Died of cholesterol, highest of dying of heart attack, highest of dying of diabetes, highest of dying getting our legs cut off. We the highest everything you could think of. We the highest in using the bus system because we have no car. We the highest one that's homeless. We the highest one most on food stamp. We the highest on everything because we disobey the law, statutes, commandments. Deuteronomy 31:29. For I know that after my death, this is Moses talking. For I know that after my death, you will utterly corrupt yourself and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. And evil will befall you in the latter days, and evil shall befall you in the latter days, because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger, though the work of your hand. See, God said, Moses saying, hey, Moses saying, I already know how you is. I know when I die, evil gonna overtake you. And guess what? And the Lord you will provoke the Lord to anger through the work of your hand. You're gonna make God mad at you because of what you are doing. You out there doing everything that's not what the Most High told us to do. Look around. All I keep saying, look around. Just look around with your naked eye. Just look around. Who on the news you see every day? Who you see struggling? Who you see got to work 4 or 5 jobs? Because God said what? You provoke me to anger through your actions by the stuff you're doing. See, and Moses knew that once he left, that you were going to go off on your own, because a lot of people follow their pastor. If they pastor there and give them the day-to-day instruction, if he fall or if he die, they doomed. Because we need constant contact with God to stay on the right path. That's why you got to study and read your book every day on some kind of way. Find a 2 or 3 minute, read this book and find out who you are. Because if you don't, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to turn away from God. You're going to turn away from the commandments. You're going to corrupt yourself. You're going to turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. We do all them things. Look on social media. Look how we disrespect the women. Look how the woman disrespects herself. Look how the kid, you got daughters. You got the mother taking their daughters to other people's house to fight in the mama feminine. You got stuff just going on. You got little 10, 12-year-old kids walking up and down the street by themselves, doing nothing but bad, because the mama don't know where they at. They just let them roam because they could be home. The mama home doing whatever she want to do, so she don't want to take time to watch the kids. So the kids outside just running around. God forbid what the father doing. We have lost that community that we're supposed to be in. We the 12 tribes of Israel. We all done gone astray. Ezra 9:7 Since the day of our father have we been in a great trespass upon this day, and for our iniquity we, our kings, our priests, have been delivered into the hand of king of the land, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil, and to confuse of face, and it is this day. Right now, our high people, our people who we so call our pastors, our leaders, our city councilmen, our black mayors, our black chief, guess what? Since the day of our fathers, our forefathers. Since the day of our forefathers, since the day of Moses, we have been in trespass. We have been in trespass since then, because we disobeyed the law, statutes, commandments. And God said we have been delivered. Our kings, our princes have been delivered to the king of this land upon this day. You have seen all our so-called high leaders are in captivity upon this modern day law by they high people. Our kings have been brought down to naught. We are nothing in this land, because guess what? Because our forefathers, we paying for what our forefathers did. So don't you think other nations gonna pay for what their forefathers did? If God holding you to the standard or paying for what your forefathers did, so you got to pay too. The other nations got to pay. So we paying for our forefathers' mistake. We are in the sword today. Sword, who killing us? Sword is the modern day gun. Who poisons our water? Who poisons our food, giving us this food that our body can't take, making us get all these diseases? Who's shooting us in the street? Who false accusing us? Who got our mamas crying every day about their child being shot? Who got us going to visit the prison system? Who got us struggling? Who got us where we can't make it? Who got us working a 4-5 job where you can't take even a vacation? Because we disobeyed the law, statute, commandment, following our forefathers. Now we paying the price for it right now, just like they paid the price for it. So we paying the price for it. See, they never seen the promised land. They died off. The original one that came from Egypt never seen it. God said you will never make it because of your disobedience. So they died off and never seen the promised land. And so the other people that made it to the promised land, guess what? They died off because they never seen the promised land, because they did the same thing. Here we are in the same. It keep going on and on and on. Because every time generation come, we the same people. You whether you know it or not. So the same way they died off, we gonna die off. Then our kids gonna come. If they disobey the law, they gonna die off until the Most High come back. And that's where the state we in now. We up under their leadership, not up under the law, statute, commandment. We following what they tell us to follow. Nobody want to follow law, statute, commandment. Our churches is up under their leadership. They go to seminars and learn what they want them to teach you. They won't teach the Bible, because if they teach the Bible, they won't get their money to build them churches that they want. They want them $1 million churches, but they can't get the money to build $1 million churches if they don't teach them to teach you not to do the law, statute, commandment. So that's why you go in churches now, they don't teach you about law, statute, commandment. They don't care. They don't teach you about 613 law, statute, commandments. They don't care. They basically making money off of you. It's like a prison system. You come to their church, you die. Now I'm going to step back. You come to their church, they feed you this food that's gonna kill you. They give you this wine, they're gonna kill you. Wine and philosophy and knowledge. They tell you that you can eat crab, you can eat pork, you can eat shrimps, you can eat fish without scales, you can eat lobster, you can eat clam, but it's killing you on the inside. Then they have cookouts. They have ribs, they have pork chops, They give you food that's gonna kill you, so you dying in the church slowly. Then, when you die, you got to pay them to bury you when you're a member of the church for 20, 30 years. So they feed you, bury you, and then you pay them for what they caused you to die of. Psalms 106, chapter 106, verse 6. We have sinned with our fathers. We have committed iniquity. We have done wickedly. We done just as our fathers have done. But you won't know that, people, until you go read the Old Testament. It's very important that you read the Old Testament. I don't know what else how to tell you. I don't know what else how to tell you that you must read the Old Testament. Because if you don't, guess what? If you don't read the Old Testament, it ain't going to work. You must read the Old Testament to know what law that you are breaking. How are you going to know the law if you don't study the law? I guarantee if you're a lawyer, you got to study all the laws to know when you go into court, you can be prepared. I guarantee you, when you go take your driving test, you got to study. The base of that book is just laws. It's laws, statutes, and commandments you must obey. The Bible is laws, statutes, and commandments. But you will study hard to get your driving test, them laws, but you won't study the laws, statutes, and commandments so you can live, so you can have a prosperous life, so you can live with joy. Because things going to happen to you. Joy is everlasting. Happy is based on happenings. But if you got joy in you, death gonna come your way. You might even lose your job. Gonna come your way. But you got the joy knowing God is gonna be there for you. See, but you don't have no joy because guess what? Everything is based on happenings. That's why you call yourself happy. Because you're happy at a certain period of time when things happen good. We have followed the sins of our forefathers. And how you going to correct that is go back and read what your forefathers did. Jeremiah 3:25. We lay down in our shame, and our confused covers us. For we have sinned against the Lord our God, we and our fathers, from our youth even unto this day, and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord our God. Why he keeps saying your forefathers? Because your forefathers, where you got to get if you don't want to make the same mistake as your daddy did, you look at what your daddy did. See, but we don't look at it like that. We are sinning. We disobey the law, statutes, and commandments. And that was in Jeremiah 3:25. We lay down in shame. We lay down in shame because guess what? We have disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments. We disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments, so we live in shame. We shame-faced. Our face confused. That's why we walking around here and don't know where we're going. You're just walking. You like cattle just walking them down the street back and forth. Don't know nothing. Because the church not teaching us. We are seeing our leaders being uncovered every day now. We are seeing our leaders who we looked up to are being uncovered every day now. So we must learn from our mistakes. And the only way you learn from your mistakes is to get the Bible and read the Old Testament. Jeremiah 6:19. Hear, O earth. Hear, O earth. Behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my word, nor my law, but rejected. Why you thinking? I don't care where you go at on earth. I don't care where you go at on earth. Negroes, Native American Indians, and so-called Latinos are in the bottom. We are in the slums. We are in the ghetto. Why? Because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments. Right now, they are getting ready. Okay, in a couple more days, you'll have the Black History Month. The coldest month of the year, the shortest month of the year, the most active month of the year. Super Bowl, Winter Olympics, playoffs, boat shows coming, everything coming up during that month. When are you going to have time to learn about their so-called Black History Month? Because they're not going to teach you about Martin Luther King, maybe Malcolm X. They ain't going to teach you about this. They're not going to teach you this. This is your Black Holocaust. I got the book. This is a real manifesto right here. Every ship had a manifesto even back then. And they wrote notes and they drew pictures. This is yours. They're not going to teach you about that. It's going to teach you about marching across the bridge and being docile, how you lost everything. Because we disobeyed the law, such a commandment. God said upon this earth, upon the earth, I mean this whole earth. That's why you in dire straight right now. Look at your life. Of course, you got a few people that got a house and a car that they keep putting on TV. But the majority of us are not living like that. Ezekiel 39, 22 through 24. So the house of Israel, this is you. Pull up that chart. 12 tribes of Israel, this is you. So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord their God from that day and forward. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword, according to the uncleanness and according to the transgressor have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Every nation, all the other nations of the world, look at you as a byword. Look at them niggas how they act. Look at these niggas how they do. Look at these spits. Look at these savages. Everybody use you for a byword. Because God said the world gonna know you in captivity. Don't think they don't know who you is, people. God is saying they know who you are. They laughing at your calamity. They know who you are. They're laughing at your calamity. Because God makes sure they know who you are, but you don't know who you are. That's why they laughing at you. That's why God said, I hid my face from you. Because you be wondering, why, God, why am I going through this? God said, because of your evil doing, I hid my face from you. You'll never see it because you'll never understand. God hid his face from you. He hid his face from you. So when you pray, you wonder why your prayer is not getting through. Because guess what? You was a disobedient people. And God said that, so the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord God. You're going to know that's God because he's going to send you through so much mess. That's why you're going through all this problem right now. Why you wondering why you can't pay your bills. Why you wondering why you're about to get your leg cut off. Why you wondering why you're having hard pain, hardship, and everything, because we got laws and we don't obey by them laws. Our forefathers didn't, we didn't, and then nobody's teaching us. That's why I'm here to teach you. Please, I'm going to put a plug in. Anybody who can listen to this, when you stumble upon it, pass it on to the people that used to look at Melvin Nelson. Now you're looking at Yahweh. If you go to YouTube, go to Yahweh, all my videos will come up. I don't care if I get one prayer. I don't care if I preach to myself. But the chosen child, the children of God. And God said the other nation will know that we are the chosen children of God, because guess what? We are. We are the chosen children of God, and God said he's going to let other nations know it. But guess what? That's why the other nations are laughing at us, because they know who we are. That's why they treat you the way they treat you, because they know who you are. They know they only have a limited amount of time, so they just treat us in a kind of way. Daniel 9:11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed by law, even by departing, that they might not obey the voice. Therefore, the curse is pour upon us in the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned. This is the curse. We getting all these curses. Every curse you can name of. Daniel's 9:11. Every curse you can name of, we getting it. We number one in every curse. We know. Look around. Like I said, look around. This Bible don't lie. It match up with us. That's why we number one, because we are the chosen people. But we don't know it because they won't teach it to us, and some of us just don't want to know. Hosea 4:16. Hosea chapter 4, verse 16 through 17. For Israel sliders back as backsliders, heifers. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Ephraim is the so-called Latinos. We are so-called. It's broke up into two nations. When David did what he did, the nation was broken in two. You had Ephraim, which is the other 10, and you had so-called Negroes and Levi and West Indian. You had us in this group here. The southern tribe and the northern tribe. God said, Ephraim, let them alone, because it's not time for them to come back yet. But they are your brothers and sisters. I need to teach you, because God gonna make sure they get back. Because you know that's Ephraim, because Ephraim worship all these birds, and they worship all these bear head. They worship all these old wild things, cocker spaniel, anything. Everybody know how Ephraim do. Everybody know how Latino, they worship all them weird things. But Israel, we done slid by as a heifer. God said He gonna feed us to the lamb, like you get a lamb, you sit and you prepare for a large group. Well, that's why we in so much. That's why you see the niggas really get pushed. The niggas really catching it, because God said He made a lamb just like we are the lamb to a large place. I mean, a lamb to everybody get a piece of us. Everybody want a piece of us. Everybody. So the stuff I'm reading to you can see. So go back and look at the scripture and read it, and you can understand it. Amos 3:1-2. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your needs. God said, I'm a father. I tell my son to be in the house by 12 o'clock. He stay out till 1. He come in and said, I was playing with Marcus, but my law was given to you, so I'm punishing you, not Marcus. God said, you are the only family have I known. The reason why you're going through so much hell, because you disobeyed my law, so I'm punishing you, not other nations. Why? See, Esau cannot sin. That's why he don't have no remorse about what he do to you. Because if a law wasn't given to him, he has no moral compass but his own, based on what he feel right in his own heart. Why you think they can do you the way they do you? Because God didn't give them the law. He gave you the law. So when you disobey the law, you get punished. You wonder why when they disobey slavery, you see how they still living on top of the chart, make the most money, live in the highest houses, live in the best community, got all the store, everything. You say, well, how that happen? Because God didn't give them the law. Law was given to you. So you punished for breaking the law. The law was given you, but they're going to pay for their. But right now, we're talking about you, the so-called Negroes. You are the one that's breaking the law, so you won't catch in hell. The women catching hell, the men catching hell, the children catching hell, even your dog catching hell. Because guess what? We disobeyed the law. The law was given to us. Malachi chapter 3, verse 7-9. Even from the day of your father, you are gone away from my ordinance and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me. But you say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithe and offering? This you asking God when they say, but ye say, wherein have we robbed you, God? And then you answer your own question. In tithe and offering? You are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. I want you to catch this, people. This is what they use against you. I'm gonna end it right there. I'm gonna end it, not end it right there, but I'm gonna break this down to you. This Malachi. This is what the church used against you. And it's time for tithe and offering. Tithe and offering was never money. They made it about money so they can get your money and build these mega churches. I wish I had 1 million viewers that can see this here. I want you to go to Nehemiah 13, verse 10 to verse 12. This is what God, when he's talking about tithe and offering. And I perceive that the portion of the Levites, Levite, which is Haitian, the Hades, I want you to understand, see, they were the priests. They were the high priests. So they didn't work. Because what you see now over there in Haiti now, they were priests. You all know about they, but now they changed and started worshiping voodoo. Now you got people saying, oh, it's a different religion. No, they went away from God and started worshiping all this other stuff. But this was back then doing Aaron, because they come from under Aaron, right? The high priest. Levites have not been given them. For the Levites and the singers that did the work were fleed everyone to his field. He was fed everyone to the field. What it's saying that Levi didn't get a portion of land, because everybody was given a portion of land. That's why I said very important you read the Old Testament. Everybody, all the nations were given a portion of land. This your land, this your land, this your land. Except Levi, because they work was supposed to be done in the church. So they didn't get no land, so they couldn't work the land because they didn't have no land. Then content I with the rulers and said, why is the house of God forsaken? See, they didn't take the food and give it to the Levites like God told them to. And I gathered them together and set them in their place. Then brought all Judah the tithe of the corn and the new wine and the oil unto the treasury. It was meant for like crop, food, corn, wine, oil, flour. That's where your pantry is supposed to be, filled up in the church where you can feed the people. But they keep telling you money. It was never meant for money. That's why these churches are wicked and they are killing you, because now you got to choose between paying your rent and giving the pastor 10%, and God never meant that. Shalom, my people. Shalom, my people. I promise you, I love you. I love you with all my heart. I give this information to you when you can learn it. Go back and read it and study for yourself. This is for you. God give me the knowledge and wisdom to get his word to you. I promise you, I study hard. I read hard. I'm not a perfect man, but I know how to ask God for forgiveness, because God said he wants to strive to be perfect. So I try to strive to be perfect. I don't keep wallowing in the same sin. And that's what he's talking about. So when you see a church that you can't be perfect, yes, you can. Just don't keep doing the same sin. And the more you read, the more you study, the more you have a conscience, which is the Holy Spirit telling you, reflecting on the Bible, giving it back to you. So when you start to do something wrong, them scriptures come flowing to you, flowing through your head, and you say, no, I'm gonna be punished by God if I do it. That is what they call a conscience. So if you're given a law, then you have one, you read it, you study, you have one. That's why other nations can do stuff to you and don't have a conscience, because guess what? The law was not given to you. Shalom, my people. Shalom, my people. I promise you I love you. And one more thing. Please go to my YouTube page, Yahquah. Yahquah. Please go to my YouTube page. YAWQUA. Yahquah. Please, I beg of you. Please, please.